Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. Hey, I love you. Don't do that. Thank you. Today, we're going to be catching up with someone who I have not talked about on my channel in quite a long time, and that is Tess Holliday. I used to be a huge fan of her when I was younger. Just think it's very interesting. It's been very interesting to sit and watch her evolve as like a public figure and just as a content creator and whatever. A video of hers came up on my TikTok and I was like, I wonder what she's up to. And she's up to some stuff, okay? So we're gonna be talking about it today because I have some thoughts and feelings and this is where I go to talk about those. So yeah, let's just get into it. But before we get into today's video, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for things like sourdough bread, artisanal pastries, and fresh pasta. Wild Grain partners with small bakers and pasta makers around the country to keep the tradition of artisanal and nutritious foods alive. Wild Grain boxes are shipped frozen to your door and they offer different kinds of boxes based on your dietary needs. I get the normal one, but they also have options for gluten-free and plant-based. I was so excited to get my box this month because the holidays are here and that means gatherings, and I always love putting a plate of my Wild Grain goods out for my guests to eat or to bring them over to someone's house, and all the things that they sent me today are going to be perfect for just that. In my box this month, I got giant ginger molasses cookies, tear and share cranberry pecan rolls, chocolate croissants, a plain sourdough loaf, Parmesan herb biscuits, plain croissants. They also sent over another block of their slow churned French butter. As someone who's only cooking for one, I really love the idea of Wild Grain and how it is baked from frozen, because then if I am wanting something like a roll to go with my dinner or a cookie, I can just make one at a time. And this time I tried out the ginger molasses cookies and they were delicious. Like I said, everything is baked from frozen, which means you don't have to let it thaw or worry about thawing times or anything like that. And everything bakes up in about 25 minutes or less. So if you want to give Wild Grain a try for yourself, be sure to use the link down below in my description and use the code MEGANANNE, that's MEGANANNE, to get $30 off your first box plus free croissants for life. Thank you so much to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. And as always, thank you so much to you guys for continuing to interact with my content so that brands like Wild Grain want to keep working with me, because it truly helps me out more than I'll ever be able to describe. And yeah, let's just get back into the video. Okay, very abrupt costume change here, and I have my buddy back. You all love him. His name is Hodor. He's just a big boy. He is going on a diet soon, so those of you that were worried about how huge he is, I know, trust me. He's just a big love bug right now. Yes, he is. Anyway, I started getting warm in my sweatshirt, and so I put on this ratty Packer shirt because I am a Packer fan, and it has bleach stains on it from me cleaning in it, but it's fine. It'll do. It's fine. Anyway, if you don't know who Tess Holliday is, she is a pretty famous plus-size model. She made her name online back in like the 2010s because she was really one of the only, maybe one of two or three of the like more mainstream plus size models. My first history lesson ever was on her, and she's very controversial figure. Basically, she's very much in the fat activism, body positivity movement. And it's just been very interesting to see. She is, like I said, kind of progressed as a creator. And so I just wanted to catch up with her because I saw some of her videos on the TikTok pop up and they're very interesting. So let's start off with this one. I'm going to be kind of reacting and giving my thoughts as we go along. That is of her being interviewed on like a news show, because she recently put out a book called Take Up Space, Y'all, which I think is actually being review bombed right now. So I don't think it's very good. Maybe I'll read it and do a review on the channel later.
On GLP-1s or the weight loss job. Plus, I really say that I blame it 100% on GLP-1s or the weight loss jobs. I think that collectively our society has moved to a place where thinness is in, body positivity and curvy is no longer popular for a lot of brands. And that's what we're seeing reflected on runways and magazines and media. My plus size colleagues around the world, they're not really working. So it's been really disheartening to see.
Okay, so with this first bit, one, I really hate when fat activists and fat acceptance people call GLP-1 the jabs because to me it just seems very anti-vaxxer, and I think a lot of them are not that way, and so it's just like a little pet peeve that I have. I will say I have seen a big decrease in what stores are carrying their plus sizes in store. I'm sure there's more to that business-wise than just hating fat people. I've seen people talking about how in Target, like they've taken their plus size sections out of the store completely. And the same thing goes for other stores. And so I understand that. And I also understand the frustration with Tess and her friends maybe not being as employed as they used to be because of this. But I also do think that Tess, and I very rarely comment on people's weight when I make these videos because I think a lot of the times it's not relevant, but I think here it is. I think Tess has gotten too big for a lot of mainstream clothing brands, retailers, whatever. As much as they want more body inclusivity and stuff in like retailers and things like that, like there is a very set kind of plus size physique that is seen as like the plus size physique for a lot of retailers. And is that an issue? I don't know. But I think Tess very much has like sized out of that. That is probably one of the other reasons why maybe she hasn't been getting a lot of jobs in terms of modeling anymore either, especially with like runway and stuff like that, because I think she has done runway before. So I don't know, but that would be my guess. I do think that thinness is coming back in fact. I kind of want to make a video or like adjacent to that surrounding like the Wicked cast. It's a very interesting thing that's happening, and it's interesting to see, and we're seeing it not just with the Wicked cast but in Hollywood in general. I do think being very, very thin is becoming way more in again in Hollywood, and I think it's alarming. And yeah, so let's just keep going.
I imagine it is tough. I mean, I've got a few friends actually that have been taking the jabs, and they tell me that it's been life transforming, and I can see it in their eyes. They feel so positive. They have incredible body positivity because they feel in control of their body in a way they didn't before. So for them, this has been transformative.
Absolutely. I think that they are amazing for so many people. And I think that it has given people access to control kind of their bodies, maybe in ways that they hadn't previously. I do think that there is duality. I think that they're great. But just like anything that's great, people overuse it, abuse it, etc. And I think ever since 2020, there's been a rapid decline in diversity overall. And so I think it's just kind of the perfect storm of like the jobs and, where our culture is at right now.
Again, can we please stop calling them the jabs? I'm begging. But I will say I'm gonna make videos on my GLP-1 journey, I guess, because judging by how it's helped me, even in the like 4 days that I've been on it, I don't really foresee myself stopping them anytime soon. And I'm on the lowest dose of Zepbound. And I was telling my therapist today, I feel like I, knock on wood, have not had any side effects yet, like negative ones yet, but I genuinely feel like this is like one of the most life-changing things I have done for myself, maybe even more so than bariatric surgery, okay? Just how it is helping me in so many other ways than just weight loss. I'll talk about it in another video. So yeah, I just need to say like right now, and I know there's plenty of time for things to go awry, this medicine has truly, like my chronic illness, my chronic fatigue syndrome, and possible fibromyalgia, we'll talk about that later. It's truly been life-changing just in the 4 days that I've had it in my system. Now that I have experience on one and it's going so well already, the immediate negative views that are being spread in the fat activism community about GLP-1s without even ever having tried them makes me really angry. I mean, I know it's only been 4 days, but I really don't plan on stopping anytime soon. But I think it's funny because we'll see as this interview goes on, you can tell that the interviewers like don't necessarily agree with what Tess has been saying, but they're just trying to have a conversation with her. But you can see her getting more and more annoyed with the questions they're asking when I think they're asking them from a very like valid viewpoint. Yeah, anyway, let's keep going.
The extremes. I mean, you might be aware in this country there's been various ads that have been banned only this year where models have seemed too thin. And in many respects, the look that appears to be perhaps the most popular and celebrated is a kind of healthy body. You know, one of my great heroes, for example, Lizzo, has been very open about her weight loss journey. I wonder whether you'd kind of celebrate that rather than a plus-size body or a too thin body, but trying to achieve a body that best represents health.
I think that it's really hard to look at somebody and tell whether or not they're healthy. I know you mentioned extremes, and I can understand what you're saying, but I think overall, what I would love to be celebrated, and I feel like a lot of people, is just, how we exist, diversity in general. I think it would be nice to see different body sizes and shapes and ranges as a whole. So, I mean, that's what I would love to see more of.
I couldn't agree more. And you obviously feel very healthy, don't you? And celebrate your health and your shape in a way that's very positive. There will be some that argue that we have an obesity crisis in our country. We have huge concern about people being overweight. And in a sense, we have to be careful. You might be, well, you're gorgeous, clearly, and healthy, but others who are your size might not be.
They might not be, but at the end of the day, we are all deserving of respect. We're all deserving to take up space. That's why, I wrote a new book that came out in the UK not too long ago called Take Up Space, Y'all. And it really is about just reclaiming your space and taking up space. And, regardless of whether we're, quote, healthy or not, we matter. And, I think that we deserve to be seen as well.
So, I know you're concerned that you haven't been booked for a long time. If you don't get more bookings, what will you do?
I'm not that concerned. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you guys, so it's not all bad, is it? But I'm not I'm not going anywhere. You guys are stuck with me. I think like anything, body trends are a thing. We've seen it from the 1800s where bigger bodies were glorified, and through the end of time where bodies have changed. And I think that it will shift back to a place where you guys are going to be absolutely sick of me. You're going to see me and a bunch of other people everywhere.
Okay, so put a pin in that, because I really just wanted to play the rest of that out, where she's very adamantly saying you can't tell someone's health by their size, which to a point, I agree. Okay, like I am metabolically fine right now. Everything's chill. I'm still obese and I still don't feel very good, so that's why I'm on an active weight loss journey again. But I think it is okay to say you can't look at like an average person and be able to tell their health, right? But I do think it's, like I've said, it's fair to say that from my own experience, when I was bigger than I am now, and I was not healthy internally. And I think when you get on either side of that spectrum, whether someone's really big or they're really small, there are extremes in both. And I think Tess very much is on the extreme end of being very big. I have always been kind of a proponent of like, if it's not affecting you right now, it's just because it isn't yet. You know what I mean? And like, I consider myself lucky to have had the wake up call with my health when I was so young that I did. That initially made me get weight loss surgery and changed my life. And I did appreciate the news person saying like somebody getting healthier or losing weight is a body positive thing to do. For some people, for a lot of people, because I think for a lot of people it is like achieving a certain level of health that you can and that you want to is the most positive thing that you can do for your body. Personally, I believe that. And so I'm happy she said that. But put a pin in that with Tess talking about her health. Tess had posted this on her Instagram, and people in the comments were obviously being like, oh, they were so trying to like bait you with like their questions and blah, blah, blah. And she was liking all of those. But then some people commented saying, you do look gorgeous. You're young and your blood pressure was not 200 over 100 yet. You have yet to need a knee replacement. Medical complications from weight is real. I loved my curves, but I do not want to stroke out from my elevated blood pressure, which is valid. a valid concern, right? Tess responds, projecting. And then another comment said, I love this, but what do your doctors say? What's your blood pressure and other health related numbers? I'm not asking to know, but I'm asking if you know your numbers, which I will say, like, asking that of a public figure, that's a lot of personal information. Okay. And I can understand being annoyed with that, but I feel like at a certain point as a public figure, and Tess is like way bigger of a public figure than I am, there comes a point where you just gotta like read it and move on and like not engage, because people will say wild shit to you. Okay, but she said, my numbers are probably better than yours, Andrea. Heart. So keep that in mind too. All of this is going to come back full circle. All right. She's replying to a comment saying, Tess, I love you, but I hit a weight where I got type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, high cholesterol and pressure, and a number of other things. And Manjaro was the only thing that helped me lose weight. And this was her response.
I love you, but you have the fatty liver, not me. You have the high cholesterol, not me. You have type 2 diabetes. Not me. Not me. I could not be happier that a GLP-1 fixed all your issues, girly pop. So happy for you. But I just have one quick question. Would a person that's not healthy have dewy, gorgeous, glowy skin like this? And also, why are strangers on the internet so obsessed with another stranger on the internet's perceived health? The world may never know. So I'm going to ask that you do you, I'll do me, and then if there's anything that you want to talk about or other people that maybe is an inside thought that's coming out, that perhaps you tell a therapist or a licensed professional, but not a total stranger on the internet.
Okay, so we're gonna let that one chill out, and then I would just want to play this.
You know it takes literally 2 seconds to do? Shutting the fuck up when you want to say something about somebody's body.
So, okay, I think just those two being on her TikTok together, very funny. Like I said, do I understand that constant questions about your health and everything, or comments on your health and whatever, can be very annoying? Yes, because I've gotten them, okay? I've gotten bigger since I've had my channel. People comment on it, okay? And it is annoying. And there are things I want to say, but I know my life, they don't. That's what I think to myself, and I just move on. And I am a big proponent of the you do you, I do me. Like I talk about in a lot of my fat activism videos, I don't care whether people choose to lose weight or not. What you choose to do with your body is none of my business, so long as it's not hurting yourself or other people. The hurting the other people thing is where I have a lot of issues with Tess and creators like her, because they continue to spread untrue things about health and weight online, which I have experienced myself as an impressionable young girl when I was 16, 17 years old. I took to heart and believed were true. And do I blame all of my health issues that I had at such a young age on them? No, I don't. But did their constant talking like that help me want to get healthier? Also, no, it did not. Also, regarding the skin, yes, a lot of your skin health does come from within, but a lot of it also comes from genetics. The amount of money that you put into the general upkeep of it every month, which for Tess, who's a model, I would assume is a lot, and the kinds of products that you can afford to use on it. And like, I get asked a lot about my skin, and I say it's like 90% genetics. I get a facial every month, and that's about all I do besides just like normal washing my face and stuff like that. So I think it's interesting, the one example she gave about why she's healthy, because she has really nice skin. But again, I want you to put a pin in Tess saying that she is very healthy, she has very good skin, okay? And we're gonna go, okay, to her Threads account, all right? And we find a tweet, or a thread, I don't know what the term is, I don't use Threads, saying, it's been so weird actively losing weight the last couple months and having the discourse around my body and how I am a, quote, lost cause, or a, quote, bad mother for being fat. I feel no need to defend myself. For so long I felt like I needed to, but the reality is people are going to think and say whatever they want, but I am no longer carrying the actual weight of their projections, and I have never felt more free. I would say that a lot of what Tess says, especially in response to people being critical of her, is a lot of projection. That's my own opinion. Then we go to her TikTok again.
You know, I just did school drop off and I was sitting here thinking to myself, why is me losing weight different this time than maybe it has been the previous time? And I know if you grew up in the 90s and 2000s, you know that if you were plus size, you were automatically on a plus size to weight loss train. Whether that was Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, you know, 100-calorie snack packs. We've all been victimized by that. Lane Bryant, workwear for our regular clothes. We were all little baby business people in like the 6th grade. So I thought to myself, why is this time different? I've tried to lose weight before, but why is this time different? And I realized for me that while the public discourse around my body and weight loss has been louder than ever, while I've had videos going around about my body where people are picking it apart saying, wow, she's gotten so big. Yeah, I did gain a lot of weight. I was surviving a lot of trauma. I'm very proud of my body. Or, oh, she's such a bad mom for being fat. Doesn't make you a bad mom to be fat. It doesn't. It just makes you a mom. The reason that this time is different is because I no longer feel the need to defend myself. I don't. I think I carried other people's projections about my weight. The weight of other people's projections onto me was so heavy. And I finally feel free. I feel freer than I ever have. It took me a long time to get here. Not the sun coming out while I'm saying this, the irony. But I feel free and I feel great. And people are always going to talk. I just don't have to let it get to me anymore.
So, remember how I was telling you to put pins in all of the things she was saying before this, which all happened within the span of like a month, okay? Tess is losing weight. And I'm really happy for her. Like I say with like a lot of the creators that I talk about on my channel in terms of like them losing weight, like I want them to be successful in that, okay? Because it can change, it can and most likely will change your life, okay? Especially I can only imagine as a mother. I don't have kids, but I do know if I did have kids, I would want to be like the healthiest version of myself to show up for my kids. I even feel the same way about like my friends who have kids. Like I want to be able to show up for them how they need me or how they would need me. And I don't think it's immediately fair to say like that moms who are fat are bad moms. That's not fair to say at all. And I've never really liked that people have went for Tess for that specifically, because especially like new moms or just moms who have like hormonal issues, whatever, like being someone who just gave birth, like it does a number to your body and your hormones, and certain people are affected by it more than others. And so I think immediately just judging a mom because she's fat is like unnecessary. And I think there are so many other things to be critical of Tess for. I do, like I said, think there's something to be said about wanting to show up and be the healthiest version. And I'm happy that Tess is losing weight and going on that journey and that path again, because I do think it would serve her well to do, because like I said, she has gotten pretty big and I think she has kind of sized out of the industry a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if that had something to do with it too. And I understand like healing from things and everything, like your body size or like what your weight is doing or whatever might not be number one on your list of concerns for what's going on in your life. That's why I am just now starting again to lose weight that I've gained, because I finally feel like I'm in a place in my life where I'm settled enough and comfortable enough to like really focus on that and give it the attention it deserves. Because for a really long time there, like I was dealing with so many other things in my life that like I just did not have the mental energy to put to my own health, which is something I would do differently if I could do everything over again, but I can't, and that is what it is. I'm really interested to see though how she navigates this, because I think this is another instance of fat activists, fat acceptance, body positivity creators who are now getting to be in their mid to late 30s now maybe experiencing the negative effects of being super morbidly obese when you get older, because we've seen that a lot in recent years, especially as things like GLP-1s got to be more readily available for people, because a lot of people in this like corner of the internet are realizing or going through things now that are scary for their health because they're getting older. And that goes back to what I said before, when it's like, yeah, it might not be hurting you now, but that doesn't mean it's never going to, and it probably will. Like, that's again why I didn't wait till after the holidays to start my stuff or whatever, is because I'm 29, I'm gonna be 30 next year, and I want to get healthy in my 30s again so that I can continue to live as long as I can, right? I just thought all of this was very interesting to kind of see play out across all of her platforms and stuff. And she has not really, as far as I could see, has not come out and been like in a video, aside from that last one, like, I'm losing weight. Because I feel like when it comes to these body positivity, fat acceptance creators, kind of a weird catch-22 where like they need to do something for their life and their health. They can't because of what they've built their platform on. Tess is like the #1 in this community. At least she was for a very long time. And so I am very interested to see how this all kind of plays out, if she continues to lose weight and if it's very visible, because I feel like a lot of other people are going to have a lot of opinions. I think she might get kind of a taste of her own medicine in terms of how people treat her around her for losing weight intentionally. I don't think there's anything wrong with her losing weight intentionally, but I feel like people around her are gonna think that. So yeah, that's what's going on with Tess Holliday. That's where we're at. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Leave a lipstick emoji down below if you made it this far. My battery is about to die. Thank you to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds if you need them, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.